So we're solving equations again in these notes. Just taking it a step further, a little bit more complicated. The most important thing to remember for these is to show all of your work. So you need to show every step that you're doing. Otherwise, if you get lost somewhere along the way, you're not going to see your mistake. Also, when grading tests, if we can't see all of your work, then we can't give you as many points, because if you made a simple mistake somewhere, then I can be like, oh, you understand the whole concept, you just added 2 plus 2 wrong. Whereas if you don't show any work and you get the wrong answer, I'm going to think that you just guessed a random number. So show your work. So we're going to kind of go and just review what we did last time with our steps for solving these equations. So you need to look for distribution first, or like terms. So number 1 and 2 are kind of interchangeable. So distribution and combine like terms. Then we add or subtract, and then we multiply or divide. So let's look at our first equation here. I don't have any distribution, I don't see any parentheses, but I do see some like terms. I would recommend grabbing a highlighter, and whenever you see like terms, I would highlight them, just so you know you need to add those together. So I have a 3x and a 5x. So I'm going to combine those to become 8x. So I have 8x minus 5 equals 11. Now I still don't have any distribution or any other like terms, so now I'm going to deal with my addition and subtraction. So I'm going to add the 5 over. So I get 8x equals 16. Remember, when you're dividing, you always divide by the number in front of x, or whatever letter you're dealing with. So I'm going to divide by 8. So x would equal 2, because 16 divided by 8 is 2. Okay, on my next one, I do have some distribution. So I'm going to zoom in here. There, right here, is like an invisible -1. So whenever you see a minus sign like this, remember that's like a -1 here. So this does have to go over to the 3a and to the 6. So that gives me 5a, and then -1 times 3 would give me -3a, and then minus 6 equals 22. So I did my distribution. I do have like terms. I see 2 things with an A, so I'm going to highlight those. So this is technically 5a plus -3a or 5a minus 3a. Either way you look at it, it's going to come out to be 2a. So if you type in your calculator 5 minus 3, you get 2. Or if you type 5 plus a -3, you're also going to get 2. Either way. So this would give me 2a minus 6 equals 22. And then I'm going to add my 6 over. So I get 2a equals 28. Now I'm going to divide by the number that's in front of x. So I'm dividing by 2 on both sides. So a is 14. So this next one's going to start in a similar way. I have distribution again. So taking that 3/4 over to both of these. So this will just become 3/4 x. And then if you need your calculator for this, go ahead. That's going to give me minus 15 over 4, and then equals 9. I don't have any like terms here because I don't have 2 things on the same side that have a letter or that are just numbers. So I'm going to add over the 15 over 4. And again, use your calculator for this. So I have left 3/4 x here equals, and when you add these together, should get 51 over 4. And now I'm going to divide both sides by 3/4. So divide by 3/4, divide by 3/4, because that's the number that's in front of x. And when you do that, you should get 17. So don't let fractions scare you. Just go to your calculator. Okay, now this next one is a little bit different. If you remember, if you have like a larger fraction like this, where there's like, a problem or a variable within the fraction, we have to multiply by the denominator first to get rid of that. So I'm going to go up to my list of steps here, and I'm going to add in right here that I need to deal with any large fractions. So like this problem down here. So remember, I'm going to multiply by the denominator to do that. So rather than going into any adding and subtracting or multiplying and dividing stuff, I can't add over that 4 yet because it's in a fraction. So I'm going to multiply by 3, multiply by 3. Remember, that just makes these cancel out. So I have x minus 4 equals 24. And then it looks a lot easier now, so I'm just going to add the 4 over, and I get x equals 28. And that is all on that one. All right, looking at this one, I don't have like terms yet, but I will after I distribute. So I'm going to deal with my distribution first. So I can see I do have a y. I have it twice here, and those are going to have to be combined, but I have to deal with my distribution first. So my 2y will stay the same. So 2y plus 7y minus 21 equals 6. Now I can combine my like terms, 2y and 7y, to become 9y. Then I have to add my 21 over. And I get 9y equals 27. Divide by 9, and I get that y is equal to 3. All right, so these problems I want you to try on your own and then check your answer. And then if you make any mistakes, I want you to make a note down here on anything that you need to look back on. So I'm going to just put the answers down for each of these for you to check them. If you aren't getting it, you can go on Canvas and you can look at the completed notes that I have posted, and I have them all worked out. But here I just want you to pause the video, go through everything, and then check if you get the same answer. Okay, so I have the answers up here. If you didn't get this, that's fine. Just go ahead and go on Canvas, find the completed notes, so the ones that I have filled out, and then go through and look at all my steps and try to see where you made your mistake. Maybe highlight that mistake so that way when you go to your homework, you know what you're doing.